So guys, I never thought that I'd be saying this anytime soon, but I think that we might owe Kanye West an apology. Now, Kanye definitely has his moments.
For 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
Well, Harriet Tubman never actually freed the slaves. She just had the slaves go work for other white people.
Trump is one of rap's favorite people.
But this isn't a video about him as a person or about his political views. And, you know, we all have our own thoughts and our feelings about that. This is solely about the money. Recently, it was announced that he has a net worth of $6.6 billion, which is up from $53 million in debt, personal debt, just 5 years ago in 2016. That is a huge swing, and I wanted to talk a bit more about that. I wanted to talk about how he's achieved that, and most importantly, what we can learn from that, from his journey from $53 million in personal debt to a net worth of $6.6 billion. That is a huge difference, guys, and there's a lot we can learn from this. So let's get into it in this video. So first of all, the big question is, where has all of this money come from? So there are tweets that, if you look at them going back to 2016, where Kanye has been on Twitter and he said, I am in $53 million worth of personal debt. Who is going to invest in me to help me get my ideas out there? And if you look at the tweet, he sent a specific tweet to Mark Zuckerberg. I don't know if he has a personal relationship with Mark Zuckerberg or what the actual reasoning behind that is, but he tweeted the guy, he added him, and he said, I need $1 billion of your money, Mark, to invest in my ideas, and I want you to back me. And to be fair to Kanye, from a business and financial perspective, he's been consistent. He has backed himself over and over and over again.
I'm standing up and I'm telling you, I am Warhol. I am the #1 most impactful artist of our generation. I am Shakespeare in the flesh. Walt Disney, Nike, Google. Now, who's going to be the Medici family and stand up and let me create more?
He told us who he was.
The t-shirt. No, I understand about quality. I understand about fabrics. I spent 10,000 hours at this. I dedicated my life to this.
And what he was planning to do with his creative ideas.
I got some more ideas that don't involve shoes.
And now you fast forward to today, and this actual story about his net worth has come from Bloomberg and very other credible sources. It's not from worldstar.com, it's not from TikTok, it's not a Reels post. These are from credible financial sites. So the money has come primarily from his deal with Adidas and his deal with Gap. So let's take Adidas first of all. So if you know anything about Kanye West, you know that he has what we call the Yeezy brand, right? So I remember he had a deal with Nike initially, and then he left Nike to go to Adidas to design these trainers. Now, say what you want to say about the trainers. I am not a fan. I don't get it. To me, the trainers are kind of butters, but that's neither here nor there, right? He has a creative deal with Adidas where he designs these trainers under his own Yeezy brand, which he owns 100% of, and he licenses that Yeezy name to Adidas. And the reason why that's really important is because there is value in that name, in that brand. If I wanted to sign a deal with Adidas and I said, yeah, call them the Yeezys, well, not Weezy, that's Lil Wayne, but the Warren Yeezys or like the Yeezys, yeah, they ain't gonna sell. That's not gonna sell at all. Ain't nobody trying to buy those trainers. But because Kanye has such a big brand, he's managed to leverage that, and obviously he's a creative guy, right? So the way it works and the way it's set up is, according to the news sites, he gets between 5 to 10% of gross sales. So last year, it says, financially speaking, he sold $1.7 billion worth of Yeezy trainers. Now, let's say conservatively, because I know the figure is 5 to 10%, let's say he got 5%, right, of royalties from those sales. That's $85 million in his pocket last year from designing the trainers and licensing out his name, that Yeezy brand that they use to brand those trainers. They say it's second only to Nike or Jordan, so it's huge money, guys. Now back to his net worth. Now what the banks have done, UBS Bank, who are, you know, they specialize in assets, right, and net worth and personal wealth. You know, me being in the banking industry, I know it's, so they have valued the deal that he has with Adidas at around about $4.7 billion because it's a 10-year deal. It's a long-term deal, and that's the value that they've placed on that. And then the second source of his net worth has come from a new deal that he has with Gap, where he's going to design a clothing line, I think it is, from next year onwards, and they value that at $900 million. So that's the bulk of his wealth. And the West is made up from the rest, very appropriate pun there. The rest of his wealth is made up of his music catalog, property that he owns, etc., etc. But the huge bulk of it is coming from that Adidas deal and that Gap deal, which is amazing. I'm not gonna lie, guys, when I read those tweets, I remember when I saw them back in 2016, I was like, Kanye is on one again. He's tweeting at Mark Zuckerberg. Doesn't even know the guy. Obviously, they've heard of each other. They're both huge celebrities. But for a guy to just be tweeting, I've never seen a picture of Mark Zuckerberg and Kanye West together. I don't know. Tell me what you think when you saw those tweets, if you saw them. Or, you know, me telling you this now. I just thought, he's having an episode, to be completely honest. And I was like, this guy's on something. How do you get into $53 million worth of personal debt? He's talking about he's going to be the next Walt Disney.
I am Shakespeare in the flesh, Walt Disney.
He's got billion-dollar ideas. I was like, it's all a nonsense. But you have to be fair to the guy. He has backed up everything he's said with tangible results. So what can we learn from all of this? Okay, so first of all, what I really want to focus on is the way that he's structured his deals with these brands. I think it's genius. It's partnership over paychecks. And what do I mean by that? So rather than going to these companies like Nike or Adidas later on down the line and Gap now and saying, hey, look, I am going to design trainers or clothes for you, pay me $5 million for that and we're good. He said, no, I'm going to design these for you and I want to share in the profit. So whatever you sell, I'm going to take a percentage of it. So for all of you out there, if you're ever going into a partnership with someone, it doesn't have to be a huge brand deal with Nike or Adidas or Gap. Most of us are never going to get to that stage. But whether it's just a business venture, consider doing a profit sharing agreement rather than taking a fee, because a lot of the time these tend to be a lot more lucrative, right? So I think that is great. Partnerships and sharing in profits over paychecks, over taking a single fee. The second, and we alluded to this earlier on in this video, is that he has leveraged a brand. Again, most of us will never get to the level where we're a Kanye West kind of icon, where we've sold hundreds of millions of albums worldwide and everybody knows our name and we're married to a world famous beautiful celebrity. That's not going to happen for 99.9% of us. However, you can build your brand in any niche that you're in. So whether you're at work, right, be known at work for a particular thing, for, delivering on time, for delivering to a high standard, or for being reliable, that's all brand. I remember when I was on the graduate scheme at my very first bank, I joined the graduate scheme at Barclays in 2008. And what they said to us as graduates, they always used to say, build your brand, build your brand, build your brand. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, we're 21. Like, what do you mean build a brand? And basically, to put it in very simple terms, it was be known for something good, obviously, okay? So wherever you are at, whatever industry you're in, whatever area of influence you're in, be known for something. And let me know in the comment section below if you have any ideas on that, if you have a brand that you're building at this moment in time, whether it's an entrepreneurial brand or whether you have your own brand at work or any other area. I'm interested to know, guys. And what we should be doing, a lot like Kanye, is leveraging that brand, monetizing it, guys. And then thirdly, this is a big one, believing in yourself when no one else does. I mentioned that I'm guilty of it, and that's the whole, you saw the thumbnail of this video. Do we owe this guy an apology? I was like, this guy's on one.
Them and do it yourself.
How, Soyb? You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Kanye.
He is in debt. He's not coming with any sort of like billion-dollar ideas. I don't know what this guy's talking about.
My mom saved my life.
It's all typical Kanye gas, but he has backed it up. So guys, believe in yourself when nobody else does, because a lot of people like me were just laughing at the guy because he told us what he was going to do. A lot of us did not believe him, but he's backed it up. And then lastly, guys, is investing in yourself. So I put up the tweets earlier on in the video saying that he was $53 million in personal debt. And, I think he genuinely was. I don't think he was lying. Again, at the time, I was like, well, what has he spent this money on? And now it's quite obvious to me. He was most likely, and I can't prove this, but I believe he was most likely putting his own money into his ideas, into his businesses, and using his own money to develop them, right? He's reinvesting or investing into himself, probably through the lack of getting that money from banks, loans, from venture capitalists and investors. I reckon he's invested in himself to the tune of $50+ million to really get his ideas, his billion-dollar ideas that he was talking about at the time, off the ground, and it has yielded fruit later on right now, you know, when he's looking at a net worth of $6.6 billion. So those are some points and some real learning points that I got from this story. I like it when celebrities talk about money and business. It really interests me, and I'm always looking for ways in which we can learn from them. So let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you've learned from it, and I'll see you guys on Monday.
Then a lot of people say, okay, well, you know, oh, you have to do music. I'm gonna keep doing music, but what if people told me I couldn't rap? What would have happened? What if people told me I couldn't perform? You know, I'm only 36 years old. I have other goals and other things, and I'm gonna use my platform, every platform, to stand up and say, I wanna make something. I wanna make the next Ralph Lauren. And that was the point of the Zayn interview, that say people don't stand up and protect their dreams. People are too scared of getting, you know, spoofed in a way. And the irony of it is so many people that are creatives. Think about a creative person in school. When you picture them, you probably picture them all the way in the back of the class, sketching or maybe getting beat up. And I'm